fact, the last burst of fabulous Egyptology that we know, the ancient Egyptians, were in fact Nubians. It's unbelievable. There are more than twice as many pyramids here in the Sudan as there are in Egypt. But it was here. This was the seat of power.
But what about the rest of the world? How did some of those ancient wonders get out of Africa to become me and perhaps you? It's one of the most baffling mysteries of our origins.
Fish with the Virgin caught in the fountain. Mary was equated with the Virgin Aphrodite Mari, or Marina, who brought forth all the fish in the sea. Maria meant the same as Yeshua, son of Mara. The root word of Mary is Mara. Mara is the third sephra on the tree of life, which is Binah. Mara, the black mother. This is the tree of life. What does she represent? She represents Binah.
Folks for coming. This is the tree of humanity. Okay,
Geneticist Raj Ramasar has used these differences to help build a global family tree by tracing genes down the female line. Our modern genes are the branches of the tree.
When you look on the tree of life, this is Haughty, because Haughty means wisdom. Haughty is the one who you see taking down the names of the dead in the underworld. This is where the Christian story comes, was the glyphs of the tree of life. Because Mara is the black mother and she controls this sephra. So the combination, look, in the beginning it says God is alone and he has no partners. Ketha, because Ketha is not binary. It doesn't have a sephra. It's alone. All creation came from this light. The Bible even goes to say the light, in the beginning the word was God, and the words of God, and the light that shines light up the whole world. They're not talking nothing more about this glyph here. So once you come to wisdom, Hokmah, then you come to understanding. You can't have understanding unless you have wisdom, and wisdom is no good unless you have understanding. That's how it works. So the understanding of both of these sephra is manifested in Da'at, which is hidden. That's why they say Da'at is some form of knowledge. It's the hidden sun. It's the dark sun. It's in the abyss. It's the Abtur. It's the fish center. This is why Jesus and Isis is always represented by the fish. That's not even strange. When you look on my tree of life, down this middle part is Nun. Nun is 50. Nun in the Hebrew language means fish.
And geneticists have followed them back in time to find our ancient roots. The DNA of everyone alive today fits somewhere on this tree. Although it's not always obvious exactly where you fit.
So, Stephen, what about you? Where do you think your maternal heritage stems from?
Probably Southern Europe. Just the Italian community, that's where my family comes from.
Well, actually, you are on a European branch, but you're on a European branch up here. And that's much more Northern Europe. So I'm very sorry, Stephen, you're not Italian, you're a Laplander.
But follow the branches back to the beginning, and the tree reveals that ultimately we all have our roots in the same place.
There's no question from the genetic data that is generated on the people here, as well as other studies that have been done, that humanity arose in Africa. And that's where the depth of this thick trunk illustrates where the majority of humanity can look for its roots.
So because we originated in Africa, there's been more time for branches to develop here than there has been anywhere else.
Yeah, that's a crucial point. Humanity has spent most of its life in Africa.
I'm African.
Yes, my cousin.
Black is the color that was what? Always associated with wisdom. Hokmah, on the tree of life. As I just showed you, wisdom is Haughty. As the dark phases of the lunar cycle, where light gestates in the womb, it transformed and brought forth anew as an association that is old as the black stone of the Kaaba, which was once the epiphany of the great goddess, Isis. And as the robe or veil of Isis, the image of the black virgin embodies the ageless wisdom of life the ageless wisdom of an invincible dimension hidden. So when you look on the black stone, it's almost like you're looking back in time. You're looking back in blackness. You're looking back into the three negative veils that they call Ein, Ein Sof, which is nothing more than triple darkness. What he's saying, in the Bible, the first word, Tav, 49 letters this way, we come back to Vav. 49 letters again this way, we come back to 49 letters this way, 49 letters this way, we come back to Vav. 49 letters again this way, we come back to Resh. 49 letters this way, we come back to He. So in each intervals of the Bible, they say to you, it's coded by 49 to 50 spaces. Why would they do that? When I look on this glyph, I don't really see the Torah. Yes, it's nice to see, but what I'm looking on is star codes. It's the mapping of star system. Do you know how deep this rabbit hole goes? 13 again. As I said to you, 13 is also 49 because 4 and 9 is 13. We look at this book here. Oh, I didn't bring it. This is from a book called Paul Foster. We're talking about the Hebrew letters Teth. Teth, number 9, meaning serpent. The intelligent of the secret of all spiritual activities. The ancient form of the letter Teth. Sorry, I can't see that right there. But this is what I want you to see. Darkness, Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is a Hebrew word for Egypt. The name given to Egypt by the Jews are equivalent numerically to 380. 380 is 11. The uraeus of royal serpent is the characteristic symbol of Egypt. Those verses in Egyptian wisdom will know how truly it may be said that the secret wisdom of that land is what? In what? So they're telling you that we've hid certain secrets in the numbers. In Egypt, the Pythagoras learned the great mathematical principle embodied in his system. The same truth are summed up in the Great Pyramid. Because the Great Pyramid is based on a mathematical construct. Yes? When we go to the next letter, which is Het, which is number 8. Fence. Het is what we use here in Barashet. Het is the last one. Het means offense. Shet means fire. Beth means in, and Resh means head. So they're telling you by the geometric shapes that this is form, this is how the Father was constructing the heavens. Not literally like some man was coming down and walking on earth. How can you believe those stories? And you don't even question your pastor about them. This is what hurts me. So we go down, what does it say here? For the Egyptians indicated by their declaration that Osiris is a black god. It is also the terrible darkness of the Hindu goddess Kali. Now we've seen Kalima with her tongue sticking out and she's got 50 beads around her neck. Numbers are important because when you get these beads from Tibet, how much beads come on it? You get 108.
Hey, my name's Hey Blackwater TV. Shout out to Blackwater TV.
Who I got sanctify la my Jah? Who I got deliver my la my Jah? In the danger zone I don't know what. Who is who and how we relate to what is what. Man we keep blood root and chichima. No run go answer the call of no beast master. The unified God on top of the imposter empire. Call upon the most high name as Jah. In your ancient lion me and Allah. Kadama way.
But the dream gone wrong. Black American asleep. Wake up now man, me say Jamaican asleep. Wake up now man, some don't know the nightmare me face in England. In the 1980s, Southeast London, when them kill Stephen Lawrence and Roland Adams, them try to take the life of the Raga General. Some boy tried that, me broke a foot and papa and if I run from Eltham, go straight to Brixton. Me walk by River Thames and swim on dry land. Stick up on top of the river, sit up on top of the version. Yeah, me TJ, you know, say me a veteran. See me militant step, you know, say, what me say? King them say, say them a king.
We not bow to them.
The queen them say them a queen.
We not bow to them.
The king them say them a king.
And we not bow to them.
The queen them say them a queen.
And we not bow to them.
Yo, me love the yo them. We post this by YouTube, the better. No doubt. YouTube things. Yeah, YouTube things. Boom, big up, see. One love. Boom. Babylon one.